Hey everybody, welcome to the Free at Last podcast. I'm Mick.
And I'm Tammy.
And we're coming to you live from the Appalachian Mountains right here in the home of Eastern Kentucky. And we're live on the scene right now. And we're in Carter County, Kentucky on Route 2. This next few episodes we're going to deal more in a paranormal kind of thing. That might be outside of the box for a lot of people, but we feel led to deal with this subject, and we want to shed light on some of the world's terminology, because in the world terminology we have what's called psychics and mediums and that kind of thing, and we're coming from this from a prophet side of things. We're given the difference between a psychic and a medium and a prophet, because all three offices deal in the spirit world. The only difference is that the prophet and prophetesses only deal with the Holy Spirit, and the medium and all the other things in the world, they deal with what's called familiar spirits. So, Tammy, and I want to say, too, that this is the first time that we've ever been to Bethel Hill, and I'll get Tammy to share some things that she got on the way over here, and some things that we saw was kind of surprising, because I didn't have any idea who was buried over here for anything like that. But it was kind of neat what you picked up on.
Hey guys, yes, we are live today on location, Route 2, Bethel Hill Cemetery in Olive Hill, Kentucky. As you all know, I'm not from Olive Hill, and to the best of my knowledge, I've never been here at this location of the county, but you know, we've heard several ghost stories and stories that people have told that have taken place near and here at this location on Bethel Hill. I do want to put out there, it is during the day, so we're not here at night. And the cemetery itself is peaceful. There's a lot of birds that are here. Always find birds peaceful. There's a bird watching us actually right now, which is kind of cool.
And another thing I want to point out too, it's like before we came here, we prayed and asked God to show us like different signs and things like that. We're not tapping into the spirit world like a medium or anything, or a psychic or anything like that would. It's we want to show that there's a difference in the spirit of God and the spirit of the world.
And so on the way here, I have in my notes on my phone, I got some visualizations, just some things that would give purpose to the reason why that we came here today, and the reason why we're here, because I believe that everything has a purpose, everything has a reason. And when you get that intuition feeling, or you get that symbol visualization in your mind, it's the spirit world of God that's trying to communicate to us. And so, when you think about us as humans, it's like God wants to communicate with us, but we've got to be ready and open for Him to communicate through us.
Because more often than not, we complicate things.
Right, we make it too hard.
Yeah, and God speaks in simplicity more often than not.
And so on the way here, it's Bethel Hill Cemetery is about 6 miles outside of Olive Hill Township. But on the way here, the words that I got, the visualizations that I got, were link, L-I-N-K, link, 14 steps, ladder, purple, and it was like an L name. And once we got here and I found out my L names that I got, it kind of confirmed things, so it's pretty cool. But when we got here and we pulled in, there's two entrances, and we pulled in actually to the exit, and so that's okay because it gives us the hilltop view of the cemetery and the hill here. And there is a church house, it looks like. It's a Christian church. When we passed, I saw the sign, so it is a Christian church. But when we got here, we got out and started just kind of walking around, and there was like a unusual special bird, I want to call it. It wasn't a robin or a blue jay or anything like that, but it was a bird that kind of flew and in a direction that I felt like we needed to go over to. And Mickey asked me what I was feeling, and I said, well, it's like a curiosity. It's like what I pick up here is it's wondering why we're here.
Because most people that come up here, when they quote unquote do their ghost hunt and that kind of stuff, they come in the middle of the night, and we're here in broad daylight.
Yeah, so we're here in broad daylight. So what I was picking up was like, what are they doing here? And I don't pick up a fearful or scary type thing or anything. But it was just a curiosity of like, why are they here? And I told Mickey, I said, I don't have a family connection to this place.
And I didn't think I did either.
And Mickey didn't think he did either. However, when, you got to listen and see the visual things that God shows you. But that bird led us to two old pine trees off in a distance, and we walked over there, and I told Mickey, I said, I feel like I'm being led this way, and then we started walking down the incline, and Mickey's like, oh wow. And so he realized that he came upon the monument of his uncle and his aunt, who sings in the praise and worship team in our church. Yeah. And so, to his recollection, he's never been here. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever been here. So it was their monument and where he was buried, and I kept feeling like these symbols that I was given on the way here, they were close because, we were led over into a certain direction of the cemetery. And so one of the colors I got was purple. And so I went over to a monument that had purple flowers on it. And what I got when we were on our way here was 14 steps. And before I did the 14 steps, I said, oh, wow. I said, I used to work with her. And it was a lady that I used to work with at St. Clair, and she passed away, I think it was in the last 5 years. And so it was like, that is weird. That's what your mind says, that's weird. Yeah. So, when you want to know when God is confirming those symbols and those visualizations that you're seeing, there will be evidence. So from the place where the purple flowers are and 14 steps from that was her headstone.
Of the lady that you used to work with.
Of the lady that I used to work with. And, the word link came to me. That was my first word. And when we, started walking around here, and I told Mickey, I said, I'm not connected here like family-wise, but there's, quote, a link for me here, and she was the link for me here. And I didn't know her all that well. I had, talked with her as a coworker and stuff, but we didn't have a close relationship or anything like that. But it was like, for whatever reason today, I was led to come and visit her monument. And so I got the name. It was like I couldn't quite get the name of who it, like it's like when you're trying to focus in on trying to get a name or trying to get a location of something, it's like sometimes you have to have quiet, or you have to have like a total focus of your mind on something. And I couldn't quite get it, but I knew there was an L in the name, and the last name I got was Loretta. Well, her name is Carmelita, and I always called her Carmeletta. So it's kind of like, it's like that's too close to be a coincidence. And so I would always call her Carmeletta or Carmelita, but when I always talked to her, it was Carmeletta. So it's like you have that L in the name and that TA.
Yeah.
And so I left a penny on her monument. That's just kind of something that I do. I know a lot of military families have people who leave coins of service years on the tombstones of their patron, their people that they're patriots. But I left a penny on her tombstone just as that's just something I do. It's kind of just like, I look at those as pennies or God winks.
Yeah.
And I feel like that God winked on our excursion and our adventure today. We're not out ghost hunting. We're not out trying to stir up stuff. But, we're trying to let you know that the symbols, I keep going back to the symbols and the things that you get in your mind, those gut feelings, those intuition feelings. Pay a close attention to those, because I believe that God leads us and guides us in those encounters.
Yeah, and it's what the Bible calls discernment. And I believe in today's modern church world, we have watered down the gift of discernment so much that it's pretty much, almost like a lost art. Yeah,
and this isn't a game that we're doing. Really, it's it was an experiment.
Yeah.
And it works. I don't know how it works, and I've always told Mickey that I have just like a knowing on the inside. I can't tell you how it works. I can't tell you how I know. It's just And there's a lot of people that have this gifting in church and who practice Christianity, and they're afraid to go on their instincts or their intuition.
Well, because like a lot of churches, like they discredit it automatically as witchcraft or whatever. But yeah, God is bigger than what church has tried to limit him to. And so we just want to encourage you to, like, if you get those same kind of senses and like you're not weird. Well, I mean, you might be weird, but it's in a good way.
Yeah, you're like a weird good.
Yeah.
The Bible calls us a peculiar people. And the world's going to call you crazy. That's fine. The church world's going to definitely call you nuts. But it's like there's a spiritual side to God that he's wanting you to explore, and so that he can show you great and mighty things.
That's right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this time. Thanks for tuning in. And Yeah, visit us on our website at www.freeatlastministries.org, and you can. We actually need to update that this weekend. We're going to go right now and do that.
We're going to go do that right now.
But we just want to thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions, comments, you can email us at freeatlastpodcast@yahoo.com, and we'll try to answer everything from there. But until next time, guys, God bless.
Have a good week. Love y'all.